Welcome to the Grants.gov Organization Registration Overview. This demonstration will provide you with a thorough overview of the 5 steps to register yourself on behalf of your organization. Step 1. Obtain a DUNS number. Step 2. Register with CCR. Step 3. Username and password. Step 4. AOR authorization. Step 5. Track AOR status. You should review this tutorial if you are an individual who is responsible for submitting a grant on behalf of a company, state, local or tribal government, academia or research institution, not-for-profit, or any other institution. Remember, you can search for grant opportunities, download and fill in a grant application package before you register with Grants.gov. However, you must be registered to submit a grant application package. There is never any cost to submit a grant application on Grants.gov. Grants.gov registration is a one-time process. However, Step 2, CCR registration, requires renewal, but we'll discuss that later. Start the registration process. To start the registration process, visit the Get Registered section of Grants.gov. The registration process normally takes 3 to 5 business days. However, due to the screening process, multiple system checks, and necessary planning between members of your organization, registration could take up to 4 weeks or longer if all steps are not completed in a timely manner. So please remember to register early. Delays in registration are generally due to inconsistent information being found between system checks. All organization names and information entered must be consistent with the information on record with the IRS. Information about organization registration. All grant opportunities have set criteria for the applicant type. Therefore, you must be eligible for the type of funding you are seeking. Some grant opportunities are available to organizations, and others are available to individuals. There are very few grant opportunities available to individuals. To submit grants on behalf of your organization, you must be registered as an Authorized Organization Representative, or AOR. If you register on behalf of your organization, you may not use your organization registration to apply for grants for yourself as an individual. Individual registration is a separate process from that of registering as an AOR on behalf of your organization. To protect your organization's identity and to ensure federal grants are awarded to the appropriate applicant, the registration process includes 5 steps and may involve several individuals within your organization. Please be sure to plan accordingly to ensure that you and your team allow for a sufficient amount of time to complete all steps. Your organization will need to decide who to assign the different roles and permissions associated with the registration process, such as the e-business point of contact, e-biz POC, and the Authorized Organization Representative, AOR. The person who will begin the registration process and is responsible for all grant transactions is the e-biz POC. The e-biz POC is established when you register with Central Contractor Registration. The e-biz POC gives other members of your organization, referred to as AORs, permission to submit grant applications on behalf of your organization. The e-biz POC can also assign themselves as an AOR and can delete AORs for the organization. Step 1. Obtain a DUNS number. Step 1 of the registration process is obtaining a DUNS number. A DUNS number, or Data Universal Number System number, is used to identify your organization and was adopted by the federal government to track how federal grant money is allocated. Your organization may already have a DUNS number, so check with your organization's grant administrator, chief financial officer, or other authorizing official to find out if your organization has already been assigned a DUNS number. If your organization does not know its DUNS number or needs to register for one, visit the Dun & Bradstreet website at fedgov.dnb.com/webform. Obtain a DUNS number. Assignment of a DUNS number online generally takes about 1 business day, and you will receive your DUNS information online. You may also call to receive a DUNS number by telephone by dialing 1-866-705-5711 for the U.S. and U.S. Virgin Islands and 1-800-234-3867 for Puerto Rico. All others must request a DUNS number online. Requesting a DUNS number by telephone usually takes between 5 and 10 minutes. However, to ensure that your telephone request is processed quickly, please be prepared to provide the following information: your legal name, trade style, doing business as, DBA, or other name by which your organization is commonly recognized, physical address, mailing address if separate, telephone number, contact number, SIC code, line of business, number of employees at your location, headquarters name and address, and if this is a home-based business. Step 2. Register with CCR. Step 2 of the registration process involves registering with the Central Contractor Registration, CCR. CCR is the primary registrant database for the U.S. federal government and collects, validates, stores, and disseminates data in support of agency acquisition missions, which include grants. A DUNS number is required in order to complete the CCR registration process. CCR registration must be renewed yearly, and it is your responsibility to renew and maintain an active CCR registration. Grants.gov does not maintain records on your CCR registration status. If your organization is not registered with CCR, you can apply online by visiting the CCR website at ccr.gov. Before registering with CCR, check with your organization's grant administrator, chief financial officer, or authorizing official and ask if your organization is already registered with CCR. CCR registration usually takes 3 to 5 business days, but could take up to 2 weeks to complete, so make sure that you give yourself sufficient time to complete this part of the registration process. When your organization registers with the CCR, you will need to be designated as an e-business point of contact, also known as an eBiz POC. As the eBiz POC, you will create a special password called an MPIN, which stands for Marketing Partner Identification Number. The MPIN gives you the authority to designate which of your organization team members are allowed to submit grant applications for your organization electronically through Grants.gov. As mentioned earlier, you designate members of your organization to submit grant applications on behalf of your organization, and these individuals are called Authorized Organization Representatives, otherwise known as AORs. Your CCR registration must become active before you proceed to Step 3 of the registration process, which is completing a Grants.gov profile and creating a username and password. Step 3. Username and password. Now that you have become the e-business point of contact and have selected Authorized Organization Representatives, AORs, to submit grant applications on behalf of your organization, these AORs must complete a Grants.gov profile and create a username and password, which is Step 3 of registration. The Grants.gov profile is used to identify you within the system, and the username and password you create will serve as an electronic signature when submitting grant applications to Grants.gov on behalf of your organization. In order to create your username and password, you must provide some personal and confidential information, such as your DUNS number. You must also create a secret question and secret answer, which an AOR may use to recover a forgotten username or password. The secret question and answer can be up to 100 characters in length and is not case-sensitive. You may update your profile information at any time and create a new password to safeguard your information. The electronic signature, username and password you create, is required in order to complete an application submission, and you or any other AOR you assign will be unable to electronically sign the grant applications they intend to submit without this username and password. AORs will be able to use their username and password immediately to log in to Grants.gov. Step 4. AOR Authorization. Once an AOR has completed a Grants.gov profile, you, as the eBiz POC, will need to approve and confirm their AOR status, which is Step 4 of the registration process. There is a possibility that you could be both the eBiz POC as well as an Authorized Organization Representative, AOR. If you fall into this classification, you are still required to complete this step and authorize your AOR status. Once you receive an email indicating that an AOR request has been made, you will then log in to Grants.gov using your organization's DUNS number as the username and temporary password included in the email. Once you approve an AOR, a confirmation email will be sent to them confirming their AOR status and the ability to submit grant applications on behalf of your organization. Remember, only the eBiz POC may approve AOR status, so the amount of time you take to do so affects the registration process. So please remember to do all the steps of the registration process as quickly as possible. Step 5. Track AOR's status. Confirming you or your AOR's ability to submit an application on your organization's behalf. As the eBiz POC, you are still required to register as an AOR if you would like to submit grant applications on behalf of your organization. To confirm your ability to submit an application on behalf of your organization as an AOR, visit the Grants.gov homepage. You can log in to Grants.gov using the quick links on the right side of the screen, or use the link under For Applicants on the left-hand navigation bar. And there you have it. Your registration is now complete. Once you are an approved Authorized Organization Representative, AOR, you will be able to submit grant applications electronically through Grants.gov. If you have any questions about the registration process or any of the information discussed in this presentation, call the Contact Center at 1-800-518-4726 or email us at support@grants.gov. Please remember to register and submit early. Use the username and password you received in Step 3 of the registration process to access your Grants.gov profile. Once logged into your profile, you will be able to verify whether or not your AOR status has been approved. The approval process to become an AOR depends on how long it takes the eBiz POC to log in and approve your AOR status.